The miseducation of our children, particularly our under-resourced children, is a matter of justice. We believe that it is unjust for a child to be trapped in an underperforming school just because of the zip code that they live in, which they have no power or control over.
I live in a community that I see young kids walking down the street by themselves, where there's a lot of crime. A young man was shot in the front yard of my church, murdered. And I'm like, how can I break the cycle of crime and poverty in my neighborhood?
In Memphis, 93% of our children in Shelby County schools are minority. It's very, very poor relative to our municipal school districts. So 40,000 children that go to school in Memphis live in families that make less than $10,000 a year. Right? Do we care as much about our neighbors' children's education as we care about our own children's education? And it isn't apparent that we do.
Our schools are a sum total of the community in which they rest. So whatever's going on in the community happens in the schools.
One of the actions that we have decided to take is to form a loose organization of large, medium, small churches and non-profits that we call FLEET. FLEET is an acronym for Faith Leaders Education Empowerment Team. And we are solidified around the issue of literacy and practicing particularly a methodology called Team Read. Team Read has been approved by the Shelby County School System, and it is a 1, 2, 3 easy way to teach elementary kids how to read.
As a church in the community, we want to come alongside of our schools and say, how can we assist you?
If they can't read and comprehend what they're reading, they're not going to do well in math. It spreads into social studies, it spreads into science, the writing. Reading is the foundation.
When we started introducing literacy as one of the biggest things that we started doing into our after-school program and our reading program and really doing a lot in literacy, we started seeing up to 2 to 3 letter grade improvements in more than 3 or 4 subjects.
I can give a kid a chance to go and learn and get an education. I can give a kid a way out of the ghetto by teaching them how to read. That's it.
There's the sense of urgency that if we're going to have every 3rd grader in our district reading on grade level by the end of 3rd grade, the work has to start prior to that child entering 3rd grade.
A 3rd grader who is reading proficiently by the end of 3rd grade, you have an 89% graduation rate. So chances are that child would graduate and would be ready for either a career or post-secondary school.
If you want to make a difference, get a book and read to some 2nd graders.
If we could get a volunteer for every non-reader in the city, imagine the success that same group of children will experience throughout their educational career.
Anybody can give 1 hour once a week to touch a child's life and literally change the educational trajectory of that child's life.
Would you prayerfully consider joining us to be one of 600 volunteers in the city of Memphis to join FLEET around the issue of Team Read for training in this 1, 2, 3 easy way of teaching elementary kids to read? We need you.